Hey everybody, I'm Amber.
And I'm Maddie.
And we're Witches Talking Tarot. And we've brought you a show all about the occult.
We're talking different lores and mythology.
Yes, creature features, cryptids, aliens, you name it, we'll cover it.
Conspiracy theories.
Absolutely.
And pagan holidays and 100%.
Practices. All 8 of them. Yes.
Spiritual living, you name it.
That's right. We've got it for you. So if you want, come sit with us for a spell and let us make you laugh.
We are Witches Talking Tarot.
Thanks, everybody.
Killer Pinata, the movie that makes men around the world quiver as they walk past a pinata around the shops. Let's get into it.
You're only given a little spark of madness.
Followed Mr. Carpenter. What he saw couldn't have been a dream. It was too real. But it couldn't have been true either. It was too deliciously frightful.
Frank, that's yesterday. Old times are only good when you've had them.
Night after night, all alone. Daddy's all pent up. Let's freak.
Irrational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Hello, it's been a while since I've just sat down and done a review. However, this is the first episode of a new series I'm doing. Tacos and Tubi Tuesdays, the killer series. So, tacos, because I love tacos and will take any excuse to have tacos. Tubi Tuesdays, because all the films I review in this series will come from Tubi. That's not necessarily Tubi originals, but it is Tubi. To be or not to be? That really is the question. On top of that, we have the subheading of Killer Series. And the reason why I have it as Killer Series is because every film I'm going to review in this series will have killer in the title. I'm aiming to do 10, may do more, may do less. We'll see what happens. But essentially, they're all films found on Tubi with killer in the main title. And to kick it all off, we have an absolute banger of a film. Banger, because, you bang the shit out of pinatas, is Killer Pinata. Killer Pinata is directed by Stephen Tramontana and starring Lindsay Ashcroft, Nate Bryan, and Billy Shangari. And it's exactly what you think it is. It's a killer pinata. It's a poor little pinata is hung up and watches his, friends and beloveds be beaten to death in front of him, and he wants to seek that sweet, sweet revenge on humanity. And it's all done in 24 hours. Or not even, really. Now, this was a crowd-funded film. It ended up having a budget of around $3,000 US. So, you're not expecting a heap when you start thinking about all of that. However, the way this film is shot for such a low budget and for people who don't really know what they're doing in relation to compared to, bigger budget films, they fucking figured this shit out, okay? So we don't have just hands holding a pinata, shuffling him around, and that's how he moves. We have angles. We have emotion, people. This pinata, it's like they've cut the pinata somewhere so they're able to move the head around. This head's able to twist back, like it looks back at people. It's moving around. It looks up and down. It's really well done for what it is. And I will say in that regard, I was thoroughly impressed. I did not expect a lot going into this. And the camera angles and the way this was shot was just such a surprise. A lot of these B grade or whatever you want to call them films, they called B grade, C grade, D grade for a reason. They're not top tier. They're not A films. They're not the A plus film that you expect to get from, I don't know, say A24 or Blumhouse. But sometimes there's a diamond in the rough. And sometimes you just need to go digging or just take a chance. And that's exactly what I did with Killer Pinata. And I have never not regretted something so hard in my life. This is officially like one of my favorite films now. Like, this is ridiculously good for such a ridiculously bad film. And there's just so much like to praise on such a small budget film. The acting is really good. For what it is, it's really good. As I said before, the camera angles is really good. You get so much emotion in this film. You know exactly how that pinata is feeling in every scene it's in. And this is a literal pinata. This isn't animated. Like, this is just a store-bought pinata on a rampage getting sweet, sweet revenge on humanity. And, you know, there's some kills in this. Obviously, with a name like Killer Pinata, you'd want to hope he kills. And there's some interesting scenes and kills in this. But it's just so much fun. So much fun. And it's just one of those films that, you know, you're sitting around and you're not sure what to watch. You got some friends over or a friend over. You got drinks, you know, chill. And this is what you throw on. You know, it gets the party started. It's a really good vibe film. It's so fucking ridiculous. I mean, the last half hour of the film is literally two of the characters just going apeshit crazy, building these ridiculous weapons that you somehow need to be able to defeat a bit of cardboard or a bit of paper mache. Like, it's just so much fun. And I couldn't recommend this highly enough. You know, like, this is so much better than the other films that are big and I've reviewed on here, which, don't get me wrong, I still thoroughly enjoy. But this is like this feels like an actual film. This feels like if Beast Day had a better budget and wasn't made by porn actors. Like, this is thoroughly entertaining. But yeah, I'm still blown away. I mean, and the side characters as well. Like, there's this lady who owns a shop, which is how the movie starts. So you're seeing her open the store, and she owns this little, like, I don't know what you'd call it, like a $2 store, like a party shop. And it's full of pinatas. And that's where he's bought the original pinata. And this woman has a hook for a hand. And they make it, you know, really clear as day that they want you to know that she has a hook for a hand, but they give you no context as to why. She just has a hook for a hand. You don't know why she has it. You don't know how she got it. You don't know if something happened to her when she was younger. It's just, here's a lady, and here's a hook for a hand. And, you know, at first, like, because I'm the kind of person that'll sit there and watch a film and be like, you know, why have they done this? Or why, like, I'm really annoying to watch a film with. But I like that you don't know much about the background of a lot of things in this film. Like, you don't need to know much. You just need to know that there's a pinata that got sick of watching his friends die and seeks revenge. In some really interesting ways. And I'm going to go into that now. So if you don't want any spoilers, maybe skip ahead. But yeah, I have to discuss these kills. I just have to. They're too fun. They're too funny not to. So let's get into it. So the first kill you see is this homeless man that's brought up earlier in the film. And he comes across a pinata, and you can see that it's alive, and he's, you know, a little taken back, but nothing too serious. and the pinata shits candy. He eats the candy, and then the candy is poisonous. And that's the first kill. It's just poison candy. You see him stumbling away into the alleyway. You know, he's eaten the candy and he dies. That's literally it. However, the next kill is with their friend Martin, who's the stereotypical, I suppose you'd call him the nerdy one in the group for this. And he hears a noise and he goes out the back and he bends down to put some tools away. And in the background, you just see the pinata stick slowly rise up. And it's so ridiculous because you can see, even just in that shot, you can tell, like, you know, the pinata is small. Like, it's not a big pinata. It's this tiny little, you know, llama pinata or donkey pinata. And the stick is just like, it whacks him, but it whacks him like in the center of his back really lightly. Yet that somehow makes him collapse. But then he wakes up and his hands are tied behind his back. You see a bit of rope that gets thrown over a branch and a noose goes around Martin's head. And as he gets pulled up, the stick starts whacking him again, but there's no force behind it. It's like these tiny little whacks on his stomach while he's got a noose loosely around his neck. But then you get this one whack and he gets whacked in the head and he's all bloody. And you get this shot of his teeth falling out of his face like candy in a pinata. And it's perfect. It fits this film so well. It's so tongue-in-cheek and it's just amazing. It's just so much fun to watch. So I'm gonna skip ahead a few kills. There's one kill in particular that I really want to mention. I just think really tells you the kind of film this is. And that's about 20 minutes from the end. I mean, it's not really a kill, but it's something. So at this point, they realize that, you know, we're at that point now where they're about to start looking for him. They're coming after him. They realize the pinata is the one killing off their friends. And the guy who's left at the end, whose name escapes me, he's helped his friend who's just been pulled by their hair by the pinata, only to stand in the hallway and you get this awesome shot. It's like you're seeing like something move without actually seeing something move. So you're seeing like the pinata duck and weave between things to get to the guy standing in the hallway. And out of fucking nowhere, this pinata jumps, latches onto this guy's dick, and goes absolutely balls to the walls crazy, munching on this fucking cock. Like, he literally, you see this pinata latch onto this guy's cock and just get swung around, making the most ridiculous noises while doing it, only to stop and then suck him off. So here he is munching the cock, he's swinging around, then it stops, gets flung out of the pants, and he legit just starts sucking the dude off. This pinata, this rainbow colourful children's toy pinata is sucking off this dude. And he is loving every minute of it. He does not give a shit. He had been trying all night to get with fucking Lindsay and instead ends up with a pinata. But not only that, he turns around to face Lindsay, who's lying on the floor bloody. And you get a slow-mo turn of him giving her a thumbs up saying finally. He does not give a shit. He's so happy to be getting some head. And then they zoom in on his face and he's fucking euphoric. Like, he's having the time of his life with this pinata, sucking him off. And then we pan across to see Lindsay on the floor with an arrow to the knee. If you get the joke or the meme, then you're my friend. I like you. But here she is with an arrow to the knee on the floor, excruciating pain, while the guy who was trying to get with her like 20 minutes prior is getting sucked off by a pinata. And they zoom in on it. You see like it latches on and you see the head of the pinata like going back and forth. It's just detailed. Only to just as he's about to, the pinata snips it off. Like he bites it clean off and you get this zoom in of this dick that's had their head cut off. And it's so ridiculous. But then it goes back and it shows his face and he's just like, fuck. But then zooms back down and it becomes like, oh my God, like this fountain of blood just squirting everywhere. This runny, watery blood. But, you know, you get the typical struggle at the end and, you know, it's man versus machine, or in this case, man versus pinata, and you think he's dead and you think he's gone, and then you get the post-credits scene, and in true Marvel-style fashion, there's never an end, a never true end to the story. But oh my God, this film, is it the best production-wise? Absolutely not. There are so many issues with this film. The sound is horrible, but holy hell, it is absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth watching. I could not recommend this enough. I'll absolutely be rewatching this. Now, there was a sequel called Bride of the Pinata. I've been trying really fucking hard to find it. From the information I found, I believe it was also crowdfunded. I could be wrong. And I believe there were copies sent out to people to review, but it was never fully released. Now, I could be wrong, or it could still be, you know, to come. I don't know. But for the life of me, I cannot find it anywhere. I believe there's a Russian version somewhere, maybe on YouTube, I think I was told. But overall, I cannot find it. If I can, it will absolutely be added to this list as a review. But for now, I'm going to leave you with that image of a cock being bitten off by a pinata. And hope that you guys have enjoyed this. I know I don't do many movie reviews anymore. Unless you follow the Patreon. If you come join the Patreon, that's actually primarily where a lot of my reviews are now. I do a lot of mini reviews there. I'm in the process of reviewing the Nightmare on Elm Street series. All of them, reboot, versus the whole lot. So if any of that interests you guys, head on over. Links are literally everywhere. I post them all the time. But yeah, let's get into rating this. So I have rated this a 3.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. If you're curious, everything I watch, even non-podcast related, I give at least a rating over there. My username is eBunny, but it's EBUNY. Come find me. But actually no, sorry, it's eBunny06. So it's EBUNY06. But links will be there. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is definitely rewatchable. It's definitely one that to watch with friends while drunk. I hope you guys have enjoyed this batshit crazy review. But yeah, overall, for a $3,000 budget and a crowdfunded film, this fulfilled something in my dark little heart that I didn't know needed to be fulfilled. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But thank you guys for listening. As I said, keep an eye out. These episodes will be sporadic. It's not every Tuesday. It's not every second Tuesday. It's not monthly. It's essentially a Tuesday I feel like releasing it. However, I do have lots of other content coming out and already released. By the time this comes out, my South Park series on YouTube will be out, where I'm ranking every single season. the episodes within it. So I'll be ranking the 13 episodes, of season 1, and then 2, and then 3, and so on and so forth. I already have my 7-part Blair Witch series, which is really interesting if you guys, haven't listened to it yet. There's a lot of lore and background and a lot more media about that film than people realize. Oh God, there's so much. There's so much. Just find me on YouTube, find me Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I'm everywhere. But with that being said, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your support. If you've been listening for a while, if you're new, I hope you stay. But yeah, that's Killer Pinata. So thank you guys and have a fantastic day. You were just listening to the Film Spark podcast. For all your film needs and more. Like what you heard? Give us a shot. Follow us on Spotify, Apple, Good Pods and more. Or follow the socials at film_spark_pod. You know what? Just follow us on everything. Check out the link tree. linktr.ee/filmsparkpod. Find us, follow us, give us a shout. We always want to hear from you.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.